Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely.
Today, we're going to be talking about getting closer to your customers.
Really building that connection.
Beyond just like knowing their demographics or whatever,
Right.
we're talking about cultivating customer intimacy.
Yes.
And this is a key part of product ownership analysis,
Oh, POA.
POA, for those
Yeah.
in the know.
Exactly.
And we're taking a lot of our cues today from the IABA.
The International Institute of Business Analysis.
They kind of set the standard for this.
Absolutely.
And we're looking at their guide on product ownership analysis.
And it's a great guide.
It is a great guide.
Really good stuff in there.
But we are focusing in on a specific section today.
Cultivating customer intimacy.
So think of it this way. You're working on this great product or service,
Right.
and you want it to really hit the mark with your users.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easy to get lost in the weeds
Sure.
and like get lost in the
The
features
features, yeah.
and forget about the people who will be using it.
The actual people.
Right. How do you make sure you're not just building something?
Yeah.
How do you make sure you're building something people love?
Exactly.
That's where this idea of customer intimacy comes in.
Yeah. And, it's really about understanding your customer,
Understanding their motivations.
their struggles.
What makes them tick?
It's like getting to know a friend you know.
Oh, yeah.
Learning what makes them happy, what frustrates them,
Yeah.
what they dream about,
And, the guide emphasizes building genuine relationships with your customers.
right?
It even lists out values: trust, respect, empathy, appreciation.
Communication and commitment.
They're talking about building a friendship,
They are, in a way.
not just a business transaction.
Yeah,
Because when you approach customers with those values,
right.
it creates a foundation for honest connection.
It does.
You show them that you value their input.
And you're committed to creating something that meets their needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to get to know someone
Mm-hmm.
is to just talk to them.
Let's talk to them.
The guide digs into in-depth customer interviews
That's right.
as a way to unlock these deeper insights.
Deeper insights, absolutely.
And they have this great example in the guide
Oh, yeah.
about this product owner, Jen,
Huh?
interviewing a customer named Peyton.
Buying shoes.
Yeah,
It highlights how those simple questions can reveal so much.
I love that example.
Yeah,
It felt so real.
it did.
So Jen learned that even though Peyton bought green shoes,
Right.
he wasn't necessarily drawn to the color green.
You just like the style.
Yeah, he picked them for the style.
That's right.
And she dug a little deeper and learned that Peyton really needed
Yeah.
a shoe that made him feel good while running.
Inspired while running.
Yep.
Job to be done.
It wasn't about the features of the shoe itself.
Mm-hmm.
It was about the feeling it gave him.
The feeling.
Right.
That's right. And that's what customer intimacy is all about.
So it helps uncover those hidden motivations
Yeah, those hidden motivations.
that you wouldn't find in a simple survey.
Right.
You wouldn't find just in like data analysis.
Absolutely.
You got to talk to people.
Oh, you got to talk to them.
It's like being a detective, uncovering these hidden clues
A detective.
about what your customer truly wants and needs.
That's right.
And speaking of observing clues,
Oh, yeah.
the guide also talks about using observation as a tool.
Observation.
And they talk about two types,
Active noticeable.
where you're directly engaging with the customer,
Right.
and then passive unnoticeable,
Right.
where you're observing their natural behavior without interrupting them.
Absolutely.
And they each have their own advantages.
They do.
And there's that great case study
Oh, yeah.
about the insurance company,
The insurance company, where they noticed
where observation was key.
that the customer service reps
Yeah.
were struggling.
Yeah, they noticed that the customer service reps were struggling with slow computer boot up times.
Yes.
It was something that the development team was totally oblivious to.
Totally oblivious.
So just by observing, they had this aha moment.
Uh-huh.
They discovered a problem,
A big problem.
inspired by what they saw.
Yeah.
The developers created a solution that dramatically reduced boot up time,
Dramatically.
saved time
Boosted morale.
for the whole customer service team.
Yeah. A win-win.
A total win-win.
It just goes to show that the most valuable insights can come from simply paying attention.
It's about being present
Present and engaged.
and engaged in the process, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of getting into your customer's headspace,
Oh, yeah.
the guide introduces this idea of empathy maps,
Empathy maps.
which are a way to visually capture your customer's experience.
That's right.
Break it down into 6 key perspectives.
Think and feel.
Hear,
Key.
say and do,
Hey.
and gain.
Ah.
It helps you walk in their shoes
It does.
and see the world through their eyes.
That's right.
So it's like a visual representation
It is.
of what's going on inside their head
Mhm.
as they're interacting with your product
And their heart.
and their heart.
Yeah.
It's not just about understanding the practical steps they take.
Right.
It's about the emotions, the frustrations,
Yeah.
the joys they experience along the way.
That gives you a much richer understanding
It really does.
of their journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see how all these techniques work together
Mm-hmm.
to paint a really detailed picture of the customer.
Right.
But now we have all this information.
Oh, yeah.
What do we do with it?
Right.
How do we turn those insights into action?
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll explore next.
So we've gathered all this amazing info about our customers.
Right.
We've talked to them, observed them,
Yeah.
even mapped out their journeys.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we take all that and make it work for us?
Yeah. How do we make it actionable?
How do we bridge that gap?
Between understanding and action.
Yeah, between understanding and action.
Well, that's where product ownership analysis, or POA, really shines.
Okay,
So
POA.
it's like this awesome toolkit
Okay,
filled with techniques
right.
designed to help us translate those insights into product improvements.
So it's not just about collecting data
No,
and then letting it gather dust somewhere.
not at all.
We actually use it to build a better product.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
The guide specifically highlights a few POA techniques that work really well
Okay.
with cultivating customer intimacy.
Right.
For example, remember those personas we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
They're like character profiles
Yeah.
for your ideal customers,
Right.
based on real people
Right.
and their needs.
It helps you remember you're not just designing for some faceless user group.
Right.
You're designing for Sarah,
Right.
the busy mom who needs a fast way to order groceries.
Yeah, or John,
Or John.
the college student who wants that seamless study app.
And those personas become your guide
They do.
throughout the entire process
Yeah, they help you make decisions.
about features,
Design,
even marketing.
even marketing.
Okay, wow.
Then you've got customer journey maps,
Oh, the customer journey.
which visualize every step your customer takes
Right.
as they interact with your product.
It's like mapping out their adventure,
Their adventure, yeah.
highlighting the peaks of delight,
The valleys of frustration.
and then using those insights to smooth out the bumps in the road.
Exactly.
Right.
Are they getting lost trying to navigate your website?
Yeah.
Are they abandoning their shopping cart?
Mm-hmm.
Because the checkout is clunky.
The customer journey map will show you those pain points.
Yeah.
You can fix them.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds incredibly helpful
It is.
for making sure the customer experience is as smooth as possible.
Absolutely.
But how do we take those maps
Yeah.
and turn them into actual features and functionality?
Well, that's where techniques like backlight refinement come in.
Okay.
For those unfamiliar, it's basically a fancy way of saying we prioritize
Huh?
which features to develop first.
Okay.
We do this based on how much value they bring
Okay.
to the customer and how well they align with our customer intimacy goals.
So it's like a to-do list
It is like a to-do list, yeah.
for building the product,
Yeah,
but the list is constantly being updated,
it is.
reordered based on what we're learning about our customers.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's a living document.
It is a living document.
It changes and morphs
It does,
as we go.
as we go.
Okay, great.
And to make sure we're building the right things, we often use the minimal viable product approach, or MVP.
Okay.
The idea here is to launch a basic version of your product
Uh-huh.
with just the core features
Okay.
that deliver the most value
Right.
to the customer.
Then you get feedback, you make improvements,
You keep iterating
keep iterating
based on what you learn.
based on what you learn.
Yeah.
So it's a constant cycle of building,
Building,
learning,
learning,
improving.
improving.
So much more dynamic than the old way of doing things,
It is.
where you'd spent months building a product
Yeah.
in secret before ever letting a customer see it.
It embraces change.
It does.
It recognizes that customer needs are always evolving.
Yeah. And your product needs to evolve with them
It does.
if you want to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
It's starting to click for me now.
Yeah.
You gather these insights through interviews, observation, empathy maps,
Right.
and then you use those insights
Yeah.
to create personas,
Customer journey maps.
and those in turn inform
Yes.
your backlog refinement
MVP development.
and MVP
Yeah,
development.
it's all connected.
It's all connected.
And remember, Cultivating customer intimacy isn't a one-time project.
Right.
It's a continuous process. It's a
Right.
commitment to understanding your customer
And evolving with them.
and evolving with them.
Yeah.
Right.
The more you know, the better you can serve them.
So it's about building that relationship.
Yeah, that relationship.
That partnership with your customer where you're both working together
You're both working
to
together
create something truly valuable.
to create something valuable.
That's cool.
It is.
It's a journey you're taking together.
A journey you're taking together.
And the destination is something that people love.
Exactly. And ultimately, that's what sets a product apart.
Okay.
But let's pause for a moment.
Okay.
Let all this sink in.
All right.
We'll be right back
Okay.
to dive even deeper
Sound good.
into some real-world examples.
We're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into customer intimacy.
You know, one thing that's really resonated with me is how practical this all is.
Yeah. It's not just some abstract concept.
No.
It's about making real changes to your product
Real changes
based on real feedback.
from real people.
Right.
Absolutely. Grounding your decisions in a deep understanding of your customers and building products that truly make their lives better.
Absolutely.
And the guide gives some great examples
Oh, yeah.
of companies that have done just that.
Right.
One that stood out was that case study
Uh-huh.
about a bank that used these techniques.
Yeah, to transform their customer onboarding process.
Yeah, the one where they used personas and root cause analysis
Right?
to uncover a major pain point.
For new customers.
A mountain of paperwork they had to fill out
Oh, yeah.
just to open an account.
I can't imagine anything more frustrating.
I talk about a barrier to entry.
Seriously.
But by truly understanding their customers' frustrations,
Mm-hmm.
the product team came up with a brilliant solution.
A digital onboarding process.
Fast
Secure.
and incredibly user-friendly.
Yes.
So they took this process that was known for being slow and cumbersome
Yeah.
and turned it into something streamlined.
Efficient.
Efficient, yeah.
And the results speak for themselves.
If they do.
Customer satisfaction soared. New account signups increased.
And they gained a reputation for being innovative,
Customer-centric.
customer-centric.
Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen when you put the customer at the heart of everything.
It is.
And that's what customer intimacy is about.
It's a mindset.
It's a way of thinking.
It permeates.
Every aspect of product development
Exactly.
is about building those genuine connections
Understanding those unspoken needs.
and creating products that resonate
Yeah.
with your audience.
And as we've seen,
Right.
the rewards are well worth the effort.
Totally.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one key takeaway?
Challenge yourself
Okay.
to go beyond just solving problems
Mm-hmm.
for your customers.
Okay.
Strive to create moments of delight
Oh, nice.
that foster true loyalty.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about how you can transform your product
Okay.
from a simple tool.
Into something that people cherish.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's about creating those wow moments
Those wow
that
moments.
make people feel seen.
Heard and understood.
And those moments, that's what builds lasting relationships.
That's what it's all about.
That's what turns casual users into passionate advocates.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So keep diving deep, keep learning, keep connecting.
Keep connecting with your customers.
Because the more you understand them, the better you can serve them.
That's a great place to end it.
It's been a pleasure
It has been a pleasure.
exploring this with you today.
Likewise. And thank you all for joining us on this journey
Yes, thank you.
into the world of customer intimacy.
We hope you found it insightful.
We hope you found it inspiring.
Until next time, keep those customer insights flowing.
And keep building those amazing products that make a real difference
Yes.
in people's lives.